Officer for higher GC news. Mema Wibia Akwaba had the latest hot Aremeyaw Bremo. And it is a subscribe to channel idea, but Modia say over subscribe. The Obayan say over click a year the subscribe button, you know. Na wabele notification. We had a video for Frubia be upload no. When the first person once ebe can a year sa video. Afi Wibia na wala like video no. Give us a thumbs up. Na fi share ma wofoforo so na wenye bi hwe na wo hu ensabdodo na ra ekoso ewo Ghana memo hano afi ententemara yeti eye sa report ya sansemu ya babetudwai momenti sansemu ya ekoso.
It doesn't matter how they try to spin the narrative. In the coming days, they will be mentioning names specific, trying to accuse and implicate individuals. I don't care even if you give money to John Mahama. I don't care because anyway you want so this movie. What I say. So how you wasted those monies in as a forum? The Ghana for you nimni say yeah this ukojisika with the koto surveillance equipment. Sure. In the end, you didn't buy. Yeah. You ended up using the money to buy private properties. And I wouldn't send sentino. You did all these transactions using bank account, doing transfer. When you know say this transfer no or always leave a back trace. Now say obia akra or primary school grab boss and no way. And this weak-minded person was the person mining. Friend said the whole intelligence organization. That tells you how porous this country is. If this weak-minded individual and are now in charge of the national security, it tells you the kind of national security that we had at the time. They are just exposing themselves, and I'll be very surprised if attaching as a person went through this thing and let it out. You see why recent time people are losing a lot of respect for so-called lawyers. Yeah. Because you see, a lawyer is not about the degree on paper. It is about the clarity of thought, the reasoning acumen that you have, and how you are able to decipher things. Who said, "Never way as a way a reasonable men of society will not agree to this, they will impugn it, and once they impugn it, our integrity will become a casualty." If you are a lawyer and you don't look at some of these things and you think it's just political, we can just pen and throw this thing out there, me, I will see you for who you are, because when I see you next time, I will never respect you. You understand? But unfortunately, the Ghana and Kwane Kaso will be school. The just Hopeson didn't want answer. I just acquired them Conféss certificate. The answer. But yeah, you can't be a learned or be a very intelligent. You don't need a certificate. When the person open their mouth and they're talking, you should be able to know. This guy is very smart, very intelligent. That is all that you go to go you. Now yes, I just certificate. We do one answer. And that's nam no. We have the Kobitina and nam. What are some American? We really need to be very serious in this country. Attorney General. When's the prosecution a delay? Because I Ghana for a channel form. Yeah. I know how ready they are. Say abandon now issues of this nature. You toy with it. Now they don't go through the prosecution. Trust me. After 1 year, the government will get dirty. So they need to do everything to ensure that these criminals and several other criminals out there, we go after them. Yeah, it's not just this one. Now, make sky training as a forum. Yeah. Attorney General should make sure that because these people getting them prosecuted is so easy. Because even how they conceive those stupid ideas now enough to land them in jail. For instance, yes, a sky train. Training the numbers as a cranny. And do more dama. Yeah, over Tenase as a board chairman, the pen and see papers. Oh, Matthias, Yamon Kofa, the Edinburgh William Numera. Chrome had trained her from crying Nibi. So that silly conception of an idea Nankasa is enough to land you in jail. And at the end of the day, they went ahead, pumped $2 million into an offshore account. But see, sky training your mind. Now, who could jail will easy? You train your people to take advantage of the digital economy. Yet the Sikano, you see the Kosika children and your media bonnie and now more damaging way, yet the 12th century and Fantana has say. That's why I told you, say, you know, Yakofa or your fans say, Yakofa, we are living in a digital world, and Yakofa Nipa, 12th century, and the Omababe Gum, and Woodin Semumayan. And the cathedral, some by a software as a form of mobile, a bank kutupa, and 58 Akoshiagu. Who said, yes, yeah, audit and as a single silly decision that was made. Me, it is all about Sikana Yasino, even ideas now. If it is foolish, we need to find sanction people for that. And for me, that is what we need to do to set a stage. Say, so we are CEO, we are government, and I say the or my baby shall say. Yeah. You cannot be taking foolish decisions. Ya nipa no mu wia ne senko mu ye nyansafo kra nka na ubenya nipa onim nyansa no san wia wo na wo san ede ne nan na bodi so di nkurase sem san kire wo and that pain na magana for say these people must go to jail. And for that matter, people respect you. You will end up in the gutters because people will see you for who you are. The mere fact is that MP and the infantry and the power to attack a police officer in uniform, and instead of you to apologize, you are just trying to spin the narrative to make it look like the gentleman attack you. Your narrative doesn't even make sense. It defies logic, it defies reasoning and common sense. Because what's Obama when you brew and I found no call baby and the Kojo now buy and also so boni be an answer saying does it even make sense in any way? So for me, I think that these people should be disregarded. Omono Nana Mekacho said the MPP has now become a sinking enterprise. It's a party that is going down. Instead of them to elect reasonable men of conviction to bring the party back, there are a lot of intelligent people in the MPP. And Mekacho said Obeti se Boakye Agyarko ne sa adani mo hwan ala na se for. These are men na uti omonum kasa you could see say these are men of substance. These are people who should be leading the rehabilitation of the party, not an emotional stricken individuals who come, they open their mouth and they get people angry the more. MPP by oppositioning, Ghana for are even getting more fed up and angry with the way and manner they are acting. Because they become so much combative. This is a party that was known to be a party of intellectuals. And Mahamadu Bawumia Abadan station boys. Omo kasa out to kura otincha na osima osianfem.
Enko stop galamse no sika no ehon so ebi ekoho owi na waka say one ne yere private account na abamu ne de wo mo set sa account no say ebi a aban pesika bi hyehyehye ni manum ya no na mo de akoyi free sa account no individual person or sign ayima aban. All right, innocent edu Boahene afa de love letter de abanie.
You see, I grow a man for Nisu Kroma. I say, we don't even need to be discussing some of these things. But Abanasa, because Makacha say, we media no FZT on sensational news, those kind of stuff. As my brand can hear complete nonsense. This is your friend say in summer we need to just trash it and. Because in some kind of say be and I doubt if you know bar I'll be very surprised. Because I think it's one of those diversional offensive taxes as a form. Even let's say some now all canon I no correct. That negate the fact that monies were stolen from state account. Doesn't negate the fact that he cloned state bank account, transfer money from this account to this account, and at the end of the day, we cannot find those monies. Isn't it a fact to say he bought estate houses? He paid cash $1 million. Has he been able to tell us where he got those money from? And this is absolute nonsense. You see, we invest too much in emotional politicking. So if you know bad, don't deal with the fact. Sway the whole nation to the emotional line, you will survive. And that's exactly what is happening. At the end of the day, national signals brew. And your more finance opposition parties to buy is absolute nonsense. And the opposition party, I won't country. Be bold enough and mention who you gave the money to. You understand? Even if you gave the money to somebody, even in the NDC, we don't care. All we know is that you stole money. And we want you to account. The other command, financing. That is not your business. You see, we are not living in a banana republic where monies can move from one account to any other account. Let's see the discussion. There is a legal framework where monies can go. Baby, anything outside your mandate, or your mind and now say you have willfully caused financial loss to the state. And this guy has foolishly caused financial loss to the state. All that he's doing is to implicate a lot of people. Because the very moment he's able to rope in NDC, communicators, me say, man, then we've balanced the equation. Then the focus will move from Adu Boahene, then some more crime opposition. This is absolute rubbish that nobody should even consider. The questions I was is what we need to. Monies were given to you as director of National Signals Bureau. Monies, you cloned and created a separate account bearing the same name, the criminal intent alone can land you in jail. Because you're not supposed to do that. Then the gentleman went ahead to transfer money from this account to this account. What is his explanation? Says state in here is emergency or what state account, they will transfer from many. You see, we don't need to give oxygen of publicity to some of this nonsense. See, yes, I need party seminar. Me say on my way the because people will steal and will always find a way to spin narrative. Sabi oba survival. Because never na branch na no crash say be onim nyansa. And na maka chiro no because explanation ya oba yi. And na dwen so oba ka. Sa attach ya na kan yo say why na kan yo. And you manufacture this nonsense, push it to the media, and you want reasonable men of conviction in society to say why are there. No, so what is the motive behind this particular thing? Or the car when you akasa there why are there na? Because you are not supposed to be financing political party within the operations of Boahene and again. Are you supposed to finance your friends in Parliament? Parliament, who is Sikamobia, why not other moment? And you were doing as for them. Sikana or the Kokoto estate in as for them. I think so. You see, this thing is absolute nonsense. Focus on the Attorney General. So you see, there be a Ghana General Cecilia. Adia Kwaku Annan Ghana for to abati Akufo Addo corruption. And Ghana need every single reasonable minded person out there is suspecting say that the Mahama government will be very radical, very vicious in dealing with some of these ruthless criminals. We don't care how you do it. Once you are within the remit of the law, you make sure that these criminals, these organized criminals, don't get away with their crime. It doesn't matter how they try to spin the narrative. In the coming days, they will be mentioning names specific, trying to accuse and implicate individuals. I don't care even if you give money to your Mahama. I don't care because I never do so this movie. What I said. So how you wasted those monies in as for them? The Ghana for you nimni say yeah this ukoji sikasa with the koto surveillance equipment. In the end, you didn't buy. You ended up using the money to buy private properties. And I wouldn't send nimni you did all these transactions using bank account, doing transfer. When you know say this transfer or always leave a back trace. Now say obia a cracket or primary school grab boss and no way. And this weak-minded person was the person mining your friend said the whole intelligence organization. That tells you how porous this country is. If this weak-minded individual and are now in charge of the national security, it tells you the kind of national security that we had at the time. They are just exposing themselves, and I'll be very surprised if attaching as a person went through this thing and let it out. You see why recent time people are losing a lot of respect for so-called lawyers. Because you see, a lawyer is not about the degree on paper. It is about the clarity of thought, the reasoning acumen that you have, and how you are able to decipher things. Who said, "Never way as a way a reasonable men of society will not agree to this, they will impugn it, and once they impugn it, our integrity will become a casualty." If you are a lawyer and you don't look at some of these things and you think it's just political, we can just spin and throw this thing out there, me, I will see you for who you are, because when I see you next time, I will never respect you. You understand? But unfortunately, the Ghana and Kwane Kaso will be school. They just open doing one dance. I just call them for certificate. The bachelor answer. But yeah, you can't be a learned or be a very intelligent. You don't need a certificate. When the person open their mouth and they're talking, you should be able to know. This guy is very smart, very intelligent. That is all that you go to go you. Yes, I just certificate be do one dance answer. And that just no. We have the co-bitina and nam. What are some American? We really need to be very serious in this country. Attorney General. When the prosecution are delay, because that Ghana for a form. I know how ready they are. Say abandon now issues of this nature. You toy with it. Now they don't go through the prosecution. Trust me. After 1 year, the government will get dirty. So they need to do everything to ensure that these criminals and several other criminals out there, we go after them. Yeah, it's not just this one. Now, we can't sky training as a form. Attorney General should make sure that because these people getting them prosecuted is so easy. Because even how they conceive those stupid ideas now enough to land them in jail. For instance, yes, a sky train. Training the numbers as a cranny, and do more dama. Yeah, over Tenase as a board chairman, the pen and see papers. Oh, Matthias, Yamon Kofa, the Edbefa William Numera, Chrome had trained from crying Nibi. So that silly conception of an idea nankasa is enough to land you in jail. And at the end of the day, you know, they went ahead, pumped $2 million into an offshore account. But see there, sky training your mind. Now we could jail with her easy. You see, we need to begin to allow people to suffer for their crimes. For instance, now make about the National Cathedral. It's one thing that I buying a giant man that I will never forgive them. Because we all saw from the beginning. Even young men in this country they don't hold PhD. They are not lawyers. They are not medical doctors. They could see from their house that this was a stupid initiative that the state was venturing into. We have a and then India, in terms of technology, rise to a point and America, most of the companies, you know, are outsourcing most of their jobs to them in terms of IT. And to be for a bank, me person me who me bank balance in as for now you route to call to somebody in India. Or never more responses in as for because those jobs in India has been outsourced. Telecommunication companies in as for if you want clarity, they will route the call to other places because these people have become technologically savvy. People are taking advantage. So we are Maya. You train your people to take advantage of the digital economy. Yes, the Kosi Cathedral and Yamedia Boniacha and more damaging way, yet the 12th century and Fantana say. That's why I told you, say, you know, Yakofa or your fans say, Yakofa, we are living in a digital world, and Yakofa Nipa, what is 12th century, and the Omababe Gum, and the Woodins and Mumayan. And the cathedral, some by a software as a form of mobile, a bank kutupa, and 58 Akoshiagu. I'm who said, yes, yeah, audit and a single silly decision that was made. Me, it is all about Sikana Yasino, even ideas now. If it is foolish, we need to find sanction people for that. And for me, that is what we need to do to set a stage. Say, so we are CEO, we are government, and as the or my baby shall say. You cannot be taking foolish decisions. Are those decisions, you know, our high-stake implication on the fortunes of this country and get away because you are CEO? We need to make sure that we punish people for their crimes. So, Attorney General, there, or somebody, I'm telling you, because if he doesn't go through with this prosecution, every will be Ghana. I'm telling you, because the heat that will be coming. I'm telling you, because Ghanaians will never forgive him, and I know he will do. So I'm cautioning him, and I'm also urging him, he should go ahead. He should not lose focus. Some of these things coming up are absolute nonsense. Some of this nonsense being manufactured now be coming up, but he should be very careful, stay focused, and make sure. A single person be our enough way on him will be prosecuted because that is what Ghanaians want. They want the judiciary to be sanitized. They want criminals to go to jail just to send a message to people within this government. Say, also that is the fate awaiting you. You see, over the years, people sitting afar are coming to a conclusion that there is a certain collusion between both political parties to steal. That is the impression out there. So if you don't do that, then it will go to your friend saying, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. But we saw how these people stole with impunity, disrespected the people of this country. Make sure say even Ghana for more sika investment these unwitting criminals cannot go scot-free. We need to make sure that we punish them for who they are, for what they have done for this, against this country. Sabe ya going forward, you know, obiabe who say omino, sabe ya quiet because adia ba kwa we omino fail to punish crimes. Omino, so we state that there are two things you cannot do: show weakness, show mercy. The very moment you begin to do some of these things, you are done. But Obia will take advantage. Oh, the Mahamadu Bawumia, oh, wait there. And Chrome has say, Asante na software na him for nam dance no mukopacha. President, you can never come to me so apacha. Because I don't have that jail. Oh, because Assembly and Semuna don't come to me. Now you know whom and him cry, you will not even come. You will not even come. So we need to do that. South Korea, are you aware that Omo president? The whole president. This is not the first time. Previous president because of Samsung way Onokwade jail and several other high-stake individuals in other jurisdictions have suffered for some decisions that they made. But Ghana how people prison or you hear near or be contomere or hear near or comedy now now people are stealing with millions, and the same poor people in the name of emotion will come and they'll be singing praises for some of these criminals because omuye a party for nipa no wiasika no nimkra onimo awa ba mu fa phone craft no ban kwasem no ba kan kire what I say we need to protect their state and some of these things. So some of these things, you know, a section of the media will be spinning it in a bid to justify for some that kind of false equivalence and as well. But you see, no smart or witty mind out there will fall for this crap. Nonsense is nonsense that has been manufactured just to sway the focus. But I am urging the Attorney General to stay on his ground and make sure, sir, he prosecute these people. The prosecution has started. He should not waver. He should go ahead and do it. Some of these nonsense will be coming about.
Because we run a letter now. The one can the transaction between Ghana Water Company Limited and the private account.
Yes.
Because 1.3 million Ghana cedis every month. That is no, that is 1.3, right?
Oh yes.
Because 600,000 Ghana cedis, and then what's a for every 2 weeks. To Kaboma, that's 1.3.
Yes.
Yes. And no, there one can once because and no, now says Sikano qua buying account.
Yes.
But one no just Sikana, no what short check, no what diverted their call in a private account.
Yes.
Services and also internet service. No, I buy there.
Yes. And you see that you no appointee, even President Mahamadu Bawumia had no right to move state money to his private account for no reason. And nobody should be defending these things. I don't know why people are able to find energy and conviction to defend some of this nonsense. The mere fact that the gentleman cloned account and signatory to those accounts, account, you know, that is criminal intent, can be established, and you need to suffer for that. So where you transfer money to, Samia Meti Haina Meko Radio now finance me, you cannot use that to wriggle out of the Niama Waye. What I say, the mere fact is that Niamana Woyano were in direct contravention with established rules of engagement, bad books of the government, and then you have to be dealt with. Simple as that. Baby, as Sikano coin as what we can later do with the person for me, and some no kind of question because when I was here, say, would Sikano Kotia Israeli company Wanka. So how come they never catch and say, oh, the financing way? Sikano move from an account to Todano Kamasem, where he was able to pay for those Sikano Kamasem. Nayere properties are only in her name or Kamasem. A judgment ban and all you come here, or to me, and yes, Sikano. That is why I make a choice. This lifestyle audit, we need to be very, 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 very way. Many property as people are in government today, we should put surveillance on every single individual. We are pushing money to properties they are buying, and their strategy. Most Ghanaian politicians say they will steal money, buy property, and they will put it in somebody's name.
Yeah, often it didn't. So
no.
So tracing it will even be difficult.
About 90% of Ghanaian politicians steal money, they buy properties, and they registered in relative or distant friend their name. So we say state, and that is why we have intelligence distance. Say state near ready to delve into some of these now. You'll be able to find out and deal with them, and that is the best way. Some of these things for me, I won't fall for some of this nonsense.
All right, my mention or message is 1 or 2 now. Remember, Ivan Sobak, Ebenezer, Mokto, Udini, the MSA, and all the shadow taboni ye amount. Or say, Crepa and a more canoya, Tracy Benson was it until I see these criminals and people going to jail. Jomahama, you are not doing anything extraordinary, yes. I swear.
Yes.
Conscious Agbenu Akwosu was say I trust innocent. Na Neniaje or say what's it the Kobiti now guy no and Neniaje who do Tracy Emudia Hinam when Yabra was but I think say Tracy Asem now what no a deep it have it to take a deep-minded person
yes.
to understand because Dana make say Ghana for by a Troy no. ora na na magana vo ani abre to abado vim ne ade to abado nyana e ora because ye nim san krofo bi awia yen
yes
na te say the innocent ken ye chi ni pa no ahya se no obubodi o we ka ho said ye be ya ebe ye te say oh onu kwa na nko onye ahio na wodi sika ni mani pa na adwen be na tachi da wodi sai sika wan na soma asefa sika man obi when ni papa mu aka we o se ye de to bolam na ade bi ma parliamentary select committee na ade bi ma ahwan yo ye to twere bolam intention nkwampo ye criminal
mememfi no you see we I old playbook
yeah
if you go back to yes Colombia
why me dey anya za no kai na mo jijimi amebodi na aye kwamsi na asem na ye sei
enye ne okọ Colombia Pablo Escobar days do you know what he was doing oton drugs okunipa ye bi onya sika ne wi na ochema ahiafo that was what he was doing financing poor people but it doesn't justify say
the point.
It's an old playbook criminals have been using El Chapo in the offense in Mexico. That's exactly what he's doing. They will sell drugs to destroy people, kill people. Onyesika na what you feel here ni what me bra $1 million for bobra. But does it justify that?
Not at all.
The money is a crime money. You understand? It does not justify. So the Attorney General needs to sit up. There are a lot of I know be framing. Also 120 days, whatever. They don't care about anything. All that they want to see is to see these criminals in jail. That is the only thing that matters to them. Until that is done, nothing is done. So yes, because we saw what happened in this country. Yeah, nipa no mu wia en senko mu ye nyansa fo kra nkan na obenya nipa onim nyansa no san wia wo na wo san ede ne na na boni so di nkrase sem san kire wo and that pain na magana for ka say these people must go to jail.
All right, John Kweku Sabi was Ivan is a great guy. Joseph Dawumo. Also, good morning, big man. Yeah, that's say. Yami Inshabo. Oba no wa follow, no wa share. Na odo comment out to us. Ni akenkai edi ama. Me sure say demonstration ni di hu nkoma. Grofo match pass ya wo mukoyi. They say the IPM eye sumbo no.
Yeah.
Aha, say sumbo na eye case because video na ba ya ye nya ye hu bi ne de Afenyo Markin de bo post ni nasum. Ba Afenyo Markin krata o tworo ye nra me kan ye no wo say post ni no na di kan bo no no bo ne bo sa na afi na koma loko nyame nkwan collapse ye national service ni bi na bre ni nsuo na omde ne ko twere edan bi ho e na parliament clerk bi be fa no de ne ko da restroom enye san ko collapse nke bete no aye obituary ene ensema wa tworo bebre nti sa no onu police ni di kan bo no ana because you will say after asumbo no onya energy to aso koye de na obeye nti at one point no koda restroom at one point ye bre nsu anka wo collapse
oh ye joker and I make say you see Afenyo Markin is a joker. You see, in some now can he's rather exposing himself. So he's saying the police officer na born asum.
Yeah.
Na komanke yati. And I find it in so good and the coy and oba onya hoden back no police officer. You see some of these things. You see, you are not maybe not doing so in a political campaign platform this now because there will be check a fact. You obetimi atwo gum no fa ho di.
Yeah.
The fact is we are talking about somebody who is a sitting MP. Minority leader of parliament. You see a police officer in a uniform. You know the uniform symbolizes authority of the state. The person, you know, because of the uniform he wears, you know very well, say, what we remember, I don't tomra, we MP. What's no one sabon assume in a video, the best thing you can do is to just apologize to the people. Namra don't know faso. You don't just try to spin the narrative. And you see, that is the old playbook of the MPP. Maybe I sometimes I'm surprised people don't see these things. I don't know what an issue is. You see how they are spinning the narrative. It's the same thing. This thing has happened. There is a video circulating. I am very bad for his image and then as a forum. Yet he's trying to spin the narrative. And there are dogs within the media who fall for some of these things and they're also pushing it. The fact is, why would a sitting MP attack a police officer in a uniform? A police officer no say nya wona wo ye demonstration ka o ma ho.
Yes.
And now Afenyo Markin is calling for equity.
Yeah.
All of a sudden the MPP as a political party are so patriotic to the sense that they care so much about Ghana democracy. Say say Ghana for answer na NDC ni John Mahama say judiciary na me say since when na omo sense of nationalism and patriotism no ebe wura since when Koya tena kroma in the last 8 years ahu se biem kura sama president ne appointees ne niam ye e wo kroma say they did not only threaten the foundation of our democracy but endanger the very life of our people. We saw overriding tampering of our judiciary appointment. Individuals are any more quiet for staffing not just the Supreme Court, now High Court your friend is saying the appeals court. Individuals are you do see obiasem na wudi tie nipa kro wi na yabawa baso ya tamno da kosi Supreme Court. Whole lot of nasty stuff happened in this country. At that time, no, Afenyo Markin and Co could not save our judiciary because it was okay for them. For me, as a young man watching these people from afar, I see said these are fancy jokers out there that nobody should take them serious because we've gotten now me can say me chiro has say na am on social media we said that video were trending. The funny aspect of it and now man for air share but the impact of the message the people are now getting me say generation na no we don't threaten people me MP and I said me say generation we know I say I'm for a pen mouth social media now before no I say ma me watakra na man for nyira mo be twem pana no say tell people why you have to be respected. Tell people why this thing is not good and they should not go there. Don't threaten people. Say say. No, that shouldn't be the import of the message. So why yes, I now we think say because you are just an MP and for that matter people respect you. You will end up in the gutters because people will see you for who you are. The mere fact is MP and yet the infantry and the power to attack a police officer in uniform, and instead of you to apologize, you are just trying to spin the narrative to make it look like the gentleman attack you. Your narrative doesn't even make sense. It defies logic, it defies reasoning and common sense. Because what's it Obama when you brew and I found no call baby and the Kojo now buy and I was also going to be an answer saying does it even make sense in any way? So for me, I think that these people should be disregarded. Nana Mekacho said the MPP has now become a sinking enterprise. It's a party that is going down. Instead of them to elect reasonable men of conviction to bring the party back, there are a lot of intelligent people in the MPP. Mekacho said, Obeti said Boakye Agyarko ne sa adanimo hwan ala na sefo. These are men na uti omonum kasa you could see say these are men of substance. These are people who should be leading the rehabilitation of the party, not an emotional stricken individuals who come, they open their mouth and they get people angry the more. MPP by oppositioning, Ghana for are even getting more fed up and angry with the way and manner they are acting. Because they become so much combative. This is a party that was known to be a party of intellectuals. Mahamadu Bawumia Abadan station boys. Omo kasa out to kura otinchana osima osianfem. But the intellectuals no more party no more. All of them have been relegated to the background. And all of them have become insignificant in the affairs of the party. And they liberty quote unquote this bunch of emotional idiots and destroying the fortunes of the party. For me, I care about the MPP coming back as a strong political party to be the opposition we want them to do. You understand? But as long as they continue to allow these jokers, these attention seekers, to continue to dominate the news for bad reasons. Now, at the end of the day, the party will not get back. Opesa what's here? Thank you, Tom. We na kwaya second they've suspended it. It ended up in another big dog fight. Dog bite dog. Kennedy Agyapong versus yes, and dog bite dog. Exactly. So this whole thing, you see how. So we are nipa now party. You should be worried. This is a party under Akufo time. High pay to be party of intellectuals and so forth. Taxi drivers from America and so forth. Of course, some back Kuruma. The catch is much Addo University. About University for corners. These jokers came into this country, they stole from the state, and now they've got him money talking nonsense on TV. Say, you see, they need to come down from the high horses. Arrogance, me say, in this space, our politics, in this space, our governance. Do you know why people become arrogant when they get political power? They be a funny inferiority complex. When you don't believe in yourself, you think that you have nothing to offer. You need external to to hang on to become relevant. And nipa no on their own, he knows that he cannot compete. He has nothing to convince you. So, Osikadie and as any other material thing, coming back to complement and taking care of those things he's lacking. And becomes so much arrogant to the sense that he's not even ready to listen to you again. When people lack wisdom and intelligence, they don't want to engage you in argument. So what they do is they become very vocal and very frontal. And the one in a can't say, he cannot survive. So I say, I don't talk. And the growing up, uko school as a teacher anyway, timo no sa na no beneath it in most of them. Because they have certain intellectual weakness. I don't even want students to get closer to expose them. It's the reason why when you will not even get close, they ward you off with that kind of behavior, that kind of aggression. And for me, the MPP, those alla nena se forum, alla minim se wajaye so besi baba Boakye Agyarko and those other individuals, they need to take the center stage and rescue their party from these criminals and attention seekers. Because as long as the MPP continue to be in the hands of these jokers, trust me, the party will go nowhere. But the party need to come back, regroup, and at least act as a reasonable opposition. Criticizing, and for me, tell me what moral authority does the MPP as a political party have at this time to be talking the way they are talking? Because this is a party while wrecking the foundations of this country. They've destroyed this country. The economy of this country was on the downward spiral. And John Mahamadu within 4 months was a wine. Look at how the dollar has been able to stabilize. What besides how is able to do that? Senka Bawumia MPP pension and Kadi we see and can lectures are hold on more organizing Okrumano and Kenya the Ketua. But here we are once again. People are not even talking about it. The John Mahamadu is not even celebrating this particular feast. But it's a great achievement. What me here and the C. So for me, I think we need to stay focused. These people are ready to learn their lessons. Arrogance and no power. That kind of unwitty decisions no make at the time. Is the same. Fighting for me, dancer argument team. Now no catch out the Ghana Bar Association. Another group of people, they were just barking like dogs. They were not able to tell you what John Mahamadu has done wrong, and for that matter, that's what punish you will be. But see, what will be at reasons. And as you go back to what John Mahamadu has done. These are crazy bunch of individuals because you see the power to suspend or not to suspend Chief Justice, the Constitution the President okay, Article 146 down was or say it may establish a premier facility. Now say you set up a committee. The President has the power either to suspend or allow the Chief Justice. That is a discretionary injunction on the President, and only him alone. We are Ghana Bar Association. I was on resign to me. One case I said, damn the whole team because you should know law. That's what I'm telling you. So as a lawmaker, as a lawyer, you should not be talking like somebody who make coffin. Because no, you want to say fundaka. But as a lawyer, if you are talking like somebody, sabi own him way, you know very well that particular President alone. So why will you interfere? He can decide to or not to. But to say yeah, the name court because I exercise I be a damn baby. That is why the association has become some kind of a political movement. So for me, I think we need to focus and stick to the na Ghana for who say on mind by be Ghana for emotional gullible individual just do anything and get away and become way relevant. And Ghana for demonstration almost as you see how they were treated. Nobody took them serious. You understand? So for me, I think we really need to stay on track and make sure near Ghana for deserve the panel. That is what we do.
All right.
Yo, it for winning and somewhat about better. Yepono so make out say so we subscribe to channel idea, but more than say over subscribe. Now fi wa like video and give us a thumbs up. Now fi share my wo for so now we be here now we some do na ra e koso e wo Ghana memo. Also betimi otchere wadwen afa eye and some we nyina ho e wo comment box mu. Mo beti minka bi in my next video.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.